Hi everyone, welcome. I'm really glad you're here today. It's that time. It's time to announce the winner of the prize. The winner of the prize. That didn't sound very good, did it? What I mean is, well, in the last video that I did, I asked you to give me your favorite song and that your favorite Christmas carol, and that I would give a gift from my heart. And that's what I'm doing. This little fella here has been with me longer than most of this particular group of ornaments that I have. And it was my mother's favorite. She picked this one out and I purchased it for her. And don't feel bad about accepting this, please. I want it to have a good home. I don't bring these out and put on a tree much anymore anyway. They're sitting in a closet. And if I fell over or dead tomorrow, they'd end up in a Goodwill or the state would auction them off. So this is what I want to do. So I want to be very clear about that because I have one or two people who've made comments. And I just want you to know I'm giving these because I want to. I want you to have joy from these. Anyway, the winner. I went through all the people that actually answered the question, and thank you to those that did. And Teresa Strayhorn, you are the winner. You have won Home for the Holidays. That is what this one is called. And it's Santa with a little house. Isn't that great? I just think he's fantastic. He's made in Poland, completely mouth blown and hand painted. And if you look, he's even got little freckles on his face. He's great. And he will come in his own little holly leaf box here. And just email me your address and I'll get this off to you ASAP. Hopefully you'll have it by Christmas. That would be terrific. So thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to the soap. Here we go. Hi everyone and welcome. I'm really glad you could join me today. Well, right now I'm just getting my goat milk ready. But what I'm going to be doing is a remake of that last soap where I used the plastic gutter guard in it. And I think in the last video I said that it was tile backing. I looked at tile backing, but it didn't look like it was food safe. This is HDPE, so I know that it's safe. Anyway, where was I going with that? So, because I failed the last time, or it wasn't a complete fail, it just wasn't what I wanted, I thought, well, hey, I'll retry it. And this time I decided to go with fewer colors. Where the last time I used 5 or 6 colors, I decided this time I was going to stick to 3 kind of base colors. And the main reason for that, actually, is that I wanted more of a distinction where I got blurring last time. So I actually made this a little thicker this time, too, or got it to a medium trace so that it wouldn't be so thin, thinking that I might get a better separation of color rather than it getting muddied or anything. And oh, by the way, in this video, in the comments, I do want you to answer this question. In the last video, I asked about favorite songs and gave, as I already stated, I gave that to Teresa Strayhorn. But in addition, I'd like to give away another prize. And in this video, in the comments, I want you to tell me what your favorite Christmas movie is. Again, your favorite Christmas-related movie, or any holiday movie, but since it's almost Christmas, that just seems more appropriate. And international folks are welcome to play this. This isn't just for North America like some other things are. And I do want to say to Renee from Soaps for Love, please play Oftentimes you say you don't want to play. I like when you play. You're a friend, so I want to, give you a chance too. Why not? Anyway, this is not a spectacular soap. This is more of a fun test. I'm trying out this new method of the pull-through, and I'm not real sure that this is the perfect solution. I'm thinking that it would be great for doing like a honeycomb themed soap. Sound interesting? That's right. I'm going to bring out my Manuka honey next time and do another Manuka honey soap and try that pull-through method and see if I can actually get that honeycomb look through the soap. Because it works in this one. I'm calling this fishnet because of the coloring, and it just kind of reminded me of a fishnet, so that's where the name came from. And the colorants in this are really very simple. I'm using the zinc oxide, cocoa, and activated charcoal. And as you can see, those wonderful essential oils, some of my favorite. The smell is just one of, to me, is warm. This is, perhaps to some might consider it more masculine. There are no floral scents in this. It's more woodsy and herby and spicy kind of scents. Now, I love those, and I love rosemary, and I love lavender too. So there aren't, in my opinion, there aren't specific feminine fragrances and masculine fragrances. It's just like I know so many people assume they're doing a man soap, and so often it's black or navy blue, like guys don't like other colors. Sure they do. And that doesn't matter if they're gay men or straight men or anything in between. I think we all have different tastes. There's certain colors I like and certain I don't, but I've never been a fan of blues. I don't know why. I've never been a big fan of blues. Now, I like blue in clothing. I have blue shirts. I wear blue jeans. I have some navy blue socks and those sort of things. But in my home, I'm mostly greens and red and gold, kind of Christmas colors. I don't know why. I've always gravitated toward those. But anyway, I'm digressing here. Now, as you can see in this soap, I decided to use a spatula, and you'll see I got a much better separation of color by doing that. So just a tip, if you have an extra spatula laying around and it fits in your mold or you need to trim it, it's a really nice way of getting a good layer without it mixing. At least it worked in this case. Now again, this is kind of a medium trace. It's completely pourable. This is not too thick to pour, but I was a little concerned that when I pulled it through, it would just lift up all the layers with it instead of pulling through, but that needn't be a concern. It worked out just fine. One of the things that I really like about doing soaps like this, it is very relaxing for me. And I did this soap Friday night, Friday the 20th. It's now Saturday the 21st. And I was able to cut it. And it was soft, but not too soft. So it was perfectly much more firm than the last one. I didn't have to freeze this one before I did it. It worked just fine. But I do so enjoy making soap, and that's why I'm making these single loaves, because I can do it more often than doing the full. Now, if it's something that I think is more desirable, such as certain soaps, your oatmeal and honey or my lavenders, of course, I'll make full batches of those, 4 or more loaves. But for these where I'm experimenting, trying different things, I generally will make a single loaf. And these are real nice to add to the grab bags for, so that they're not always the same. I like to keep it fresh and keep, the standards there, but add in some new ones as well. But what I want to ask of each, I asked you the question about your favorite movie, so make sure you put that in the comments. But I also want to ask you all, if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It seems to help with YouTube when they're listing videos and rating them on their search engine. So it helps if you give a thumbs up. If you like it, if you don't, I understand. And leave a comment. You don't have to hit the notification bell unless you just want to know when I'm uploaded a new video. I personally don't use notifications on other people only because there are so many soaping channels that I'm subscribed to that I was constantly getting notifications. Don't have the time anyway. When I'm working to watch them all, I wish I did, but I just haven't had the chance to do that. So because of that, I've turned off a lot of notifications. And so I understand if you don't want to use notifications, why do you want to, anyway, that's up to you. But I also wanted to ask you all, this is a question you don't have to answer in the comments necessarily, but just something for you to consider, and we'll talk more about this in future videos. What would you think about a monthly... I see other soaping channels doing this sort of thing, where they do like a monthly sort of a monthly box of goodies, and they'll send out several of their different products in a box each month and kind of do this recurring thing. And I do this actually with some of my wholesale orders. I have people who every month they get orders and I make up the soap and I send it off to them. But those are custom for them specifically. No, I'm talking more about me just making up a single group of products and then offering them to everybody once a month. You won't know what they are until you open up the box. But I'm just trying to think if this is something... business is good right now. I'm selling very well. Matter of fact, I hit a big milestone on Etsy. I was real surprised when they told me. Anyway, so things have been going well there, as well as at markets, although I haven't been able to do a market. The last time I had to send my stuff with someone else to sell, which I'm not a fan of doing, but I didn't have a choice. But what do you think about the way this came out? Most of the bars show a little bit, but the colors just didn't pull through. And I'm not sure why. Now, I've thought about this. Maybe the holes are too big. So that's why, as you'll see here in a moment when I start cutting, why I get more of the netting kind of look there. Because those little lines are so small, you're not getting all the different colors. It's kind of just a blending of them. So it's not pulling up enough color from each of the layers to really be noticeable. And in some like this, that real dark, it didn't show at all. And I think what had happened is I put there on the screen, I think it kind of floated up from the bottom when I poured the first layer a little bit. So there is that dark area on the bottom layer, the way these are cut. But I'm not sure of that it's that necessarily. It's just, this has all been an experiment. And I love this kind of thing, trying different things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. Because if I learn something, I will share it with you. If I find a tip or a trick, I will share it. And that's one of the fun things about YouTube in general, I think, is that we get to watch people with their successes and the things that, don't go so well. Now, we'll say that once these air dried, after I cut them, the colors were a little more distinct. But still, they're so fine because of the fine lines. It's just not that. There's what you get, is that sort of look. But that goes all the way through the soap. So you won't wash off that pattern. It goes all the way through the soap. And that's kind of cool, I think. And like I said, I think this would be really nice for a honeycomb design in a soap. But I'm thinking just two color. I'm wondering about black and white. Like do a white layer, a black layer, white layer, black layer. Thinner layers like that, so that as it pulls up, when it runs out of one black, it runs into the next one. Pulls that through the white, and as it runs out, it runs into another. Does that make sense? So you get that pattern going all the way through. And I think that might work a little better. So again, this is all experimentation. But I'm going to play with some other things too. Things that might have a little bit larger lines in it, I think would work a little better for doing the multiple colors. So I'm going to play with it. But I just wanted to share this with you all. It's fun for me, and it's relaxing. I'm so glad to have today off. I really am. Now, of course, I work tomorrow. I will be working tomorrow, and then next week I work just a normal week. I work Christmas Eve and Christmas, but after that I'm taking a little time off between going back to my old job. I actually arranged it in such a way where I would have at least a week off between leaving this position and then starting back at my old position. I just wanted some time to just get some things done. I've kind of let things fall behind, and so need to catch up. But I want to thank you all so much. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.